Ladies and gentlemen, Violent Games here. Today, I just wanted to do a little Let's Talk about Resident Evil 2, and is it too hard? Here's the thing, Resident Evil 2 is hard, but it's not too hard. It's not overturned, it's not unfair. The game works perfectly, you just suck. And there's nothing wrong with that, you just suck at the game. And there's nothing wrong with picking up a product for the first time and getting wrecked and being like, damn, I need to learn. But the problem I'm having with the internet right now, and this is why I'm kind of pissed, is how come when people are faced with adversity, the first thing they want to do is just complain about it querulously in a fucking comment section or on a Reddit post. Man, this game's too hard. Oh my god, my feelings are hurt. This game should have been pandered to me. It's like, look, not everything is for you. And I feel like the biggest disconnect and why people are saying this game is too hard is because they've never had to play a difficult survival horror game before. Because in the modern era, people kind of grew up with games that were easier. Like, I remember, like, the classic PS2 games and PS1 games are fuck tons harder than traditional games in the modern era. Usually, anyone can kind of fluff their way through a game, and I feel like the practice has almost become mind-numbing. In fact, I find that games that feature easier difficulties are less entertaining to me now. They're less stimulating. And because people have been spoiled by games like Call of Duty that have basically convinced them that not only are they amazing gamers and they're badasses, but they should have this fucking gauntlet of ammo, that's where the disconnect comes from. It comes from this conditioning that games should be a certain way, and if I perform bad at a game, it's not the game's fault, or it's not my fault, but the game. And people just need to, like, have some accountability. Grow a pair of fucking balls. Like, seriously. Like, when I played Resident Evil 2 from the start, I didn't even record it. I actually played as Claire Bear, and I got fucking wrecked by the first zombie that I encountered. You know why? Because I wanted to see what the game was like before I, went in, running my goddamn mouth. And I took the game at its own pace, and now I'm playing this game intoxicated. I'm an idiot stoner. I'm terrible at Rainbow Six Siege. I have the aim assist turned off. I'm doing fine. I'm managing resources perfectly, and I have plenty of ammo. There's no lack of ammo in this game. I think that argument is absurd, and if you lack ammo, it's because you suck at the game. You're not playing it properly. So Resident Evil 2, the reason people are disconnecting with this and saying it's too hard is because, again, this is a traditional survival horror game. There are not a lot of those left. And there are not a lot of those that exist in the modern era. Now, what is a traditional survival horror game like? Like, if you think of Silent Hill and Resident Evil, that's who I'm going to staple the classic survival horror game to, because I feel like it best represents what Resident Evil 2 is as a product and why I think it's a fucking masterpiece. It's so good, by the way. And this is why I'm making this video as well, is because if you're mad about this game's difficulty, I want you to understand what this game is so that you can go into it with the right mindset so that you can succeed at this game. You know why? Because this game is fucking awesome. It's beautiful looking. It looks great on a 4K screen, I can tell you that much. The gameplay is enthrallingly unique, and it doesn't feel like anything else on the market right now, but it also has a taste. It gives you a taste of classic survival horror in a modern skin with modern controls that feel tight and responsive. It's just a wonderful game. Like, I haven't even beaten it completely, so I don't want to say too much, right? But Resident Evil 2 is not too hard. And what are the aspects of survival horror games? Well, first of all, you have the horror. You have the actual fear of the enemies. The enemies are traditionally stronger than they are in other video games because you're supposed to be afraid of them. Like, if they just died immediately, how fucking boring would Resident Evil 2 be? It'd be pretty fucking boring, right? So, yeah. So enemies are usually stronger in survival horror games. Resource management is a huge component of survival horror games, and not only just survival horror games, but classic Resident Evil games. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this game is called Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 was a game that came out on the fucking PlayStation 1, you pussies. Anyhow, let's not get too far into that. It just kills me that everyone is taking this game out of context. It's like, resource management, feeling like you're out of ammo, these are things that are supposed to happen in a survival horror game because it adds tension. It's scary to think, what the fuck is around the next corner? And do I have the resources available to you know, fully handle that situation? That's the tension. The tension is not knowing. The tension is having to challenge yourself and think creatively how to get around certain problems. And people have played too much fucking Call of Duty, which is the McDonald's garbage of fucking video games, and they think that they're badasses. They think that they're elite gamers, and that if they die in a video game, it's not the game's fault. Or what am I saying? It's not their fault, it's the game's fault. That is so fucking puerile. That's like me going to play baseball for the first time, and I miss when the pitcher throws, and I'm like, you threw too fast. What do you think life is, by the way? Are you so afraid of adversity? Are you so horrified of adversity that instead of looking in on yourself... Sorry, I messed with the Elgato audio for a second. I don't know what the fuck happened. Instead of looking in on yourself and thinking, oh, maybe I suck at this game. Maybe I should look up a guide. Maybe I should learn what I'm doing wrong because I can't think my way through this problem. You go to forums and just cry that the game is not easy enough for you. What in the fuck? Is this what we've turned into? A bunch of crybaby bitches? Like, I don't understand. I really just don't. I just don't get why people have that mentality. Like, there's nothing wrong with sucking at a video game. There is absolutely nothing wrong with sucking at a video game. I'm not that great at Rainbow Six Siege. I love playing it, though, because I understand what that game is, and I'm taking it within its context. Everyone is taking Resident Evil 2 out of its context because it's out of their comfort zone. Like, this problem... I feel like I'm almost going off into a different tangent, because I feel like this problem isn't really with Resident Evil 2, or it's a problem with the community. It's a problem with the mentality of people in 2019. They're too coddled. Traditional video games in the modern era are just too easy, I guess. And they feel like instead of having to learn something new, they think the better alternative is just to nerf the game. It's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. And guys, take it from me, I'm a stoner idiot. I'm intoxicated throughout like all of the gameplay that you're seeing. But I can do it. You know why? Because I took the time and I practiced. I was like, okay, how does this game honestly want me to play? Well, first off, you don't kill every zombie you see. That is not the point of Resident Evil 2. This isn't kill everything. It is to survive. That is the primary goal of Resident Evil 2. It is to get by and survive and scrape what resources you can together and try to manage your resources efficiently. And you can do this optimally well. It's very simple. But you have to take the time to get good at the game. Why is that a problem? Why is that an issue? I honestly wish I had an answer. I just think that all in all, like I said before, this generation of gamers are weaker. They don't have difficulty shoved down their throat. They think they're elite gamers or something weird. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. But guys, take some time and learn how to play this game properly, and you'll love it. I guarantee you, if you like survival horror games or any of the other Resident Evil entries that were more shooty, you're gonna like this game too, but you have to play it the way it was intended to be played, which is like a survival horror game. They nailed it, guys. They fucking nailed it. And to see anyone just complain about this game because, oh, I saw it was like a 10 out of 10 on IGN, and like I can't play it because I play Call of Duty. Grow up. Grow up. Or understand the game isn't for you. Not all video games are meant for you, Snowflake Jimmy. Snowflake Jimmy, not every experience is made for you. Like, for example, do I go to rap concerts? Fuck no. I'm a violinist. I don't give a shit about rap. Do I listen to country music? No, I don't. Do I complain that country should be more like the genre of music that I like? No, I don't. I think this is a maturity issue. I think this is an issue that is kind of being perpetuated through our culture, and I just want to push back a little bit. That's all this video is. I just want to push back and just vent my frustration because this game means a lot to me. Because I am a survival horror fan, and it scares the shit out of me when you fucking snowflakes get into a comment section and start complaining. It scares me because people are pandering to you right now. Disney's pandering to you. Movies are pandering to you. All this SJW rhetoric, nonsense, garbage that no one really is okay with, but for some reason is like, it's succeeding. You can't criticize the community in any way, especially if you're a white dude. I don't understand what the disconnect is. But like, I don't know, guys. I just hope that I'm not the only one that feels this way. I hope that we can come together as a community and just understand games better and stop acting out and lashing out like children. It is the most immature, puerile garbage of some of the shit I've seen. Oh, there's not enough bullets. You use them all like an idiot. There are ways to get around zombies that are more complex than just shooting them in the head and killing them. You could shoot them in the leg and just run by them. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about maybe trying to navigate your way through the zombies? Have you ever thought about zombies because they're kind of slow and sluggish in nature? You can take advantage of some of their mannerisms and cut them off at certain angles to get around them. And if you haven't thought that way, then maybe this game isn't for you. Is that hard to understand? Is that hard to comprehend, that maybe not everything is for you? Anyways, guys, that's what I'm going to leave you on. This is a huge ramble. I sound really mad, but like, keep in mind, I'm a huge fanboy, and I'll be upfront. I am a fanboy of Resident Evil 2. There is some jank to the game. It's not a perfect game, but to me, it's everything I want. It's everything I want, aside from being a first-person game. That would have really sealed the deal. It would have been like one of my best games ever if it was first-person, but like, the game is just so exceptional. So hopefully you don't take me out of context for kind of berating. I did do a little berating. I am guilty of that, but I don't know. I want to be, I don't think it's so wrong that our culture is heading towards being more sensitive, but we can't turn our nose up at adversity, because adversity is important to us as humans. If you aren't like faced with adversity, guys, you will become depressed. You start problems where problems don't exist, because the human mind is like genetically engineered to deal with adversity, to solve problems. And that's what this game is about. It's about solving problems and dealing with adversity in a way that is kind of extreme, and it requires you to be inquisitive. It requires you to pay attention to your surroundings, and it requires you to learn. A game that requires you to learn is a healthy video game. It's one of the reasons why video games are medicinal in a way and help our brains grow, is because of that learning process. If you're playing a game like Call of Duty, you're not getting the same experience. Call of Duty can help you with motor functions and reflexes, but as far as gray matter in your brain, as far as navigation, it's not going to help you. Resident Evil makes you look at maps. It makes you try to remember your surroundings. It becomes pertinent to understand certain environmental details and take note of that. I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing, because no other game is doing it. Resident Evil even pays attention to the way you shoot someone in the face. If you shoot a zombie in the jaw, it doesn't die. If you shoot a zombie slightly off the center of the head, it doesn't die. You have to shoot the human skull in the forehead multiple times to actually kill a zombie. You have to literally destroy the brain in order to perma-down a zombie. And I love the way the bullet damage works, or the overall damage. I think Solid Rev said this. The way the overall damage of the guns work. You can tear off limbs. You can shoot off a leg, run downstairs. There's multiple ways to deal with problems, is basically what I'm saying. So open up your mind and stop being a little bitch. I'm tired of hearing it. You suck at the game. There's nothing wrong with that. I suck at games too. I'm not really good at Rainbow Six Siege, for example. I wish I was better, honestly. But I have never gone to a forum and be like, you need to make Rainbow Six Siege easier for me because I suck. No, I'm not a bitch. I know where my faults are. And a part of being a man, and a part of being a complete person, in all honesty, let's take gender out of the equation, is just being honest with yourself. Know that not everything is for you. Understand thyself, and, you know, maybe make smarter purchases in the future. Maybe invest yourself into what a game actually is before you purchase it based on hype. And that's where all these complaints are coming from. People who bought the game based on the hype because it's the new hot thing in January, not understanding what the hell the game was getting into it. That's it. This is Violent Games signing off. I'm gonna have to listen through this. I don't know if I should post this. I probably will, though. I most likely will.